Well, welcome to the Daily Restaurant Podcast Show. I get used to saying that, but anyways, we're on the SVK Network. It's a mouthful, hey, Chef Justin? We are really excited about today. We're going to serve up some inspirational ideas around mac and cheese. Really innovation. We're going to see some new levels of mac and cheese. Jason just came back from, was it Italy, Chef?
Yes. Just was
from Italy. Yeah, that's
Buongiorno.
I was going to say it's a little different than my getaways, but he's coming back from Italy. He's all stoked. He's got some stuff he's going to tell us, probably from his trip. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyways, we're going to talk about really innovation and what innovation means right now to this industry. It is big, big, big. I just saw some statistics right now. The innovation is one of the key things right now driving our industry forward, because new innovative products are everywhere right now and people are looking for it. And I think, Chef Jason, why? Because we ate so much out during COVID that we need new menu ideas, is my mind. And usually, I don't know if you know this, but innovation usually comes as a way to offset costs, because people don't know what new items cost, right? So
100%.
Anyways, well, welcome back to the show, non-drink crystal show of what we're doing today. Whoa! There's a shot for the other guy.
Wow.
Anyways, so welcome back,
for
buddy.
having me back. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
What are we tackling today? So what are you going to be talking about, these mac and cheese things?
So today we're tackling, like you said, innovation, but also inflation. So everything's going up. How do you take a simple menu item that, mac and cheese, recognizable to anybody, and everybody, I should say, and make it fun, make it creative, and allow that business owner to get a little bit of extra revenue, but using things that they probably already have in stock there, just presenting something in a different way. So today, what I thought we were going to do, mac and cheese of the world.
Mac and cheese of the world.
Mac and cheese of the world. So we're going to be doing Korean mac and cheese that's going to be using kimchi, gochujang, a little bit of like cilantro and carrots and stuff like that for like a nice. Korean palate flavor. Secondly, we're going to do a Mexican street corn style mac and cheese, or known as elote, using some corn, a little bit of queso fresco, chipotle, and then also finishing off with a little bit of avocado on top. Again, something different, but using the same premise, basic mac and cheese, and then just building it. And then finally, from my inspiration from my trip from Rome, is cacio e pepe, which is a basic pasta in Rome using only pecorino cheese and cracked black pepper. But we're going to kick it up a little bit using a little bit of our Parmesan truffle oil glaze, just to make it a little bit more exciting. And again, it's also, it's another way to increase revenue and to try and get some extra dollars for business owners. So we'll talk, I'll cook, and we'll have some fun. And that's it.
Some fun. I got a question. I got a lot of questions here for you. Anyways, we're going to run to a quick. Our sponsors are going to do a little chatty poo here, but let's go to our sponsors and then come back. Here we go.
It's not about turning on the lights, starting the grill, and prepping the food. You put on an apron, flip the open sign, and ready for the day. Regulars sit at the same spot and tell stories that bring smiles. Some days can be chaos, challenging. You persevere because you have an undaunted passion, a calling to make people feel welcome and warm. Guests come and go, some you may never see again. The restaurant business is heaven and hell. It's laughter and tears, forever changing and extremely challenging. When the day is done, feeling exhausted, yet somehow content, you smile, knowing tomorrow you get to do it all again. And you wouldn't change a thing.
It's almost like
I like that
commercial.
It's
the
true.
commercial at the end, it's almost got this like CBC, NBC, ABC at the end there. It goes ding, ding, ding. Have you noticed that?
No, you know what? I kind of like that. I liked it how I especially liked how the part where it says, once you did it today, you get to come back and do it tomorrow.
Exactly.
Good thing or a bad thing, I don't know.
Surprise. So,
Yeah,
Chef Jason,
exactly.
I have a question for you. So, you're over in
Oh, please go
Italy.
ahead.
What are
Yes.
some of the trends that you're seeing over in Italy right now that you can share with us over here?
You know what? So for Italy, I don't think trend is the right word. It is very regionally specific food. Um,
Okay.
and very heavily regionally, and but also to their customs, right? So for them,
Okay.
it's simple food. It's taking simple pastas, things like that. It's just new presentations. So I went to one restaurant um, where they took what we would call a classic, an arancini, which
Yeah.
is basically a risotto that's been cooked, rolled, sometimes traditionally stuffed with a little bit of like a meat sauce, like a bolognese, or done with like saffron and a little bit of cheese in that. So
Hmm.
what they did is they did tuna arancini. So
What?
the arancini and basically all the ingredients that you would see like on like an ahi tuna, like on a nice sashimi
Yeah.
or whatever, but done as an arancini, which was really really cool. And then another one, which is a different idea, is called the cepali, which is like an arancini but more of a cone shape, and doing
Hmm.
it with they had like a little bit of braised short rib inside. So items that are not traditionally seen there, but are sort of making the rounds
Hmm.
in Rome and stuff like that. And just really, really, interesting things. But again, it's definitely more like seeing something like this, like a kimchi inspired pasta. Probably not, but it's yeah. If any of your viewers and listeners have a chance, oh my God, go, please go. It is an amazing, amazing place to go and visit.
So, what are you doing there, Chef?
So right now, what I'm doing, so this is gonna, I'm starting off. Our first one is going to be our Korean inspired mac and cheese. So what I have in the pan is a little bit of julienne carrot, scallion. I just added some kimchi, which is fermented cabbage, a little bit of spice as well. And then what I'm going to add right now is something called gochujang. So gochujang is a fermented hot chili paste, really prevalent in Korean cooking, usually used within a sauce, a stew, as a flavoring agent. It's not extremely spicy.
Hmm.
Um, it's just got like a nice kick to it. Um, but it's not something that you would eat, say, like from the tub, like as a raw type of thing. I actually tried it this afternoon just to see what it would taste like raw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah,
Little strong. Little strong.
a little strong. Maybe definitely made me cough a little bit, but so yeah, and so something like this I thought would be like, okay, like what's a great way to, you know, take something like you said, like a menu item that we have that we know of, so being like our mac and cheese, and make it more interesting. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? Korean right now is like that style food is actually quite trendy right now. So I thought this would be a great way to introduce something new to it. So all I did, like I said, sauteed all that up. And now I'm just getting everything all nicely mixed together. And then just so you know, so what we're using today is our sauces, our prepared sauces from Osolomio pasta.
Where are
And
they? Where are they located?
so Osolomio is actually a Quebec-based company that
Oh,
started off as a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, and just got this following for their sauce, and then
are you kidding
grew.
me?
Yep, not kidding. Grew to become the company they are today. They specialize in finished sauces, pre-cooked pastas, which we're using today, which is their cavatappi pasta. So basically, a pasta that your restaurant owner can order in pre-done, because as we talk about constraints as a consumer for stretching your dollar. Well, a business owner is also struggling right now trying to find labor. Labor is, I think, right now at a premium. Getting it is very hard. Keeping it is even harder.
Mhm.
And, you have to find ways to make that labor dollar stretch for you.
Mhm.
So, doing like a pre-cooked pasta where you take away that simple process of, boiling it, cooking it al dente, making sure it's cooled off properly. Geez, you know what? Look at it happens. You know what? Maybe a little bit unskilled labor, or you get busy, you forget it. Well, this takes all that out of it.
Yeah.
So what I did here was I'm gonna just plate it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna show you because smells fantastic actually.
So, chef, what are some things that people do wrong with making mac and cheese that you find?
So I find that sometimes, not enough sauce. Mac and cheese has to be saucy, has to be, nice and creamy. And this is just like, a new way to be like, okay, you know what? Let's introduce just some new flavors to it because it's it's something that, people are used to seeing. They know what mac and cheese is. There's no surprises. But if you can change it up a little bit, give them something exciting to see, well, you know what? That's something that I think a consumer is going to want to try today. So let me show you that. And this was quick. Like honestly, I think we got that done in 5 minutes, Jay.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. So if you
Perfect.
see there, that is our Korean style mac and cheese using
So,
kimchi. Go ahead. Sorry.
this is gonna like the kimchi. Can we go back to the
Yes,
kimchi here for a second?
of course.
Why don't I like kimchi? Like, what is it that why don't people? There's because I think it's like you love it or you hate it.
I think it's like sauerkraut, right? You love it or you
Yeah.
hate it.
True.
I don't like sauerkraut. I don't like that pickled flavor.
I love it.
But I love kimchi. I love the spice. I grew up eating spicy food, which is hilarious. My grandmother loved loved spicy food. Always had like in her house like hot mustards from Barbados, like you name it. So if it was spicy, it was in her kitchen or on her table. So I grew up with that. So these types of flavor profiles really really attract me. Just something that's got a little bit of kick because I also find it's a little bit more interesting to the palate. And just it's a way of like just making flavors pop within your mouth. So that's why like I've always been attracted to a little bit of spice.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so and again, it's taking something that we all recognize, mac and cheese. This is not the orange mac and cheese in a box, even though that is probably the best one out there. It's awesome. We all love it. Those who say you don't, you are lying.
Liar. You're lying.
Liar,
Yeah.
liar. It's so funny. I grew up my best friend since we knew each other since we were 3 years old. So that's 40 plus years. When we used to have mac and cheese at his house, he's the only person I ever knew who ate mac and cheese without the cheese. Literally, just the macaroni boiled in a bowl. None of the
Powder
orange
stuff.
powdered cheese. Yeah, yeah, like absolutely hilarious. And to this day, because 40 some odd years later, we're still neighbors, which is hilarious.
Wow.
And it's still one of those things. It's just, something is just a
Well,
different
it's
way.
funny now because I think it becomes nostalgic with what we
Oh my
remember,
God, yeah.
right? Those memories, like you're saying, and stuff like that. So,
100%, like the smells, like everything about it. I think that type of stuff, like the food, like and nostalgia and those types of things are so important. And I think those things are also what get people to go out to a restaurant, and just look for something maybe a little bit comforting. They don't always want to try something that's so off the beaten path, but will gravitate to something they know, mac and cheese, let's say, but done in a different way. But yeah, those food memories, I think they're the most important thing in the world, really.
I agree.
So
The other thing is,
So,
I predict
mhm.
mac and cheese is going to make a comeback this fall. I predict.
I don't doubt it
predict.
for a second.
Cost effective. It's comfort food,
Yeah,
right? I was just on a thing today. Prices are still going to be high, and they're hoping they come down next year. So we're going to have to see people that make profit. This is a great product to make profit off of. When
Oh my
people
God,
allow it, it sells. Like you say, you can get creative, do anything
like
with
food.
it.
Oh, 100%. Like I guarantee, like food costs for that, like for the first dish of the, Korean style mac and cheese, your food cost is anywhere between, $1.85 up to like $1.95. So, under $2 as an operator, you have all the room in the world to play with. Like,
Yeah.
The quote unquote 33% or whatever it is, you can go a little bit higher. Consumers are, I think because we're both consumers, all of us are getting used to paying a little bit more for items. It's unfortunately it's just reality. But they want to see value. Like if and when I go out for dinner, I want to definitely be able to see some value for what I'm spending. So and let the kitchen be creative and stuff like that. I'm the type of person also, as we're talking to you, I'm going to start the second mac and
Go
cheese.
ahead.
I'm the type of person also, when I go out, I tend to order only from, it's crazy, but only from the appetizer side of the menu. Because I find it sounds
What do you guys
crazy.
drink over? What do you guys drink over at CORE? You got drink crystals, now this. What do you guys do
You know
over
why?
there?
No, I'll tell you why. Appetizers are where chefs could be their most creative.
Okay.
You can play in that appetizer window and do new things and stuff like that. And I think you just play. And I'd rather go out and eat 2 or 3 really exciting appetizer type of ideas than one boring entree. So maybe there's something in my drink crystals, but no. I always just felt like, and when I was like executive chef at, country clubs or hotels, that's where we were allowed to play. We were allowed to play within our appetizer region because, your entrees were your entrees, and that's where people, came for that comfort. But your apps, go crazy. Something came in that really interests you. Let's try it on an appetizer. Let's see if we can, do something funky with it. So it was a lot of fun. So the next mac and cheese we're going to do is a Mexican street corn inspired mac and cheese, or an elote, which is Mexican street corn is where they take the corn, boil it a little bit if you want, or just roast it over like an open fire, brush it with a little bit of like a little bit of paprika. In my recipe, I put a little bit of mayonnaise inside, give it a nice brush, caramelize it, finish it with some queso fresco and some lime juice and stuff and scallions. And it's a go-to. Like at my house, my God, I think we eat it at least once or twice a week. No more boiled corn for us.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. My kids are like, oh, well, if I have steamed corn with butter, that's really not exciting. Thanks, Dad. Good thing you're a chef, not. So doing it like that definitely adds a little bit more flair to it. So what I'm doing here is we're doing a little bit of, I just took some corn niblets, sweating them off a little bit.
So you just throw in a frying pan. You're just throwing in the frying pan for a little bit. Any oil in there?
Little bit of oil, just a little bit of oil to start it. And what I want to do is I just want to get them a little bit caramelized, because you're trying to replicate that street corn flavor, that on the, that roasted on the barbecue type flavor. So just, letting it sit a little bit. We're going to roast it a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of, and again, coincidentally, it happens to be a little bit of spice. But so these are chipotle in adobe. But what I want to do is I'm only going to use the actual sauce part of it and not the whole chipotle pepper, because
Oh,
That
there's
will
peppers
knock
in
your
there. There's peppers in there. That's
yes,
cool.
yeah. So
So
these are great.
I bet you they taste good too, eh? Eat them whole.
The, you're gonna put some hair on your chest, Jay. Let me tell you, you eat them whole. Definitely put some hair on your chest. They are.
Would
It is
you like
definitely.
to show us what that looks like, Chef?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Like I said to you before you started, I was looking at myself going, "Wow, either my jacket's stretching or I am, one or the other." So,
Close shrink.
oh god.
So
But
you're just
and
throwing that
again,
in
right?
there. You sweat it, oil. You got
Yeah,
scallions in there.
scallions are in there with the corn. Now our chipotle smells like
How hot you got
amazing in
that
there, right?
going?
Smells great in here. I also kind of wish I had a fan, but I smoke out the core offices.
How hot do you got that
Gonna
pan at? Is that pan smoking hot or is it just medium?
This pan is like smoking hot right now. Probably a little bit.
What was that?
That was just a little bit of a little wish. So that was our osso mio Alfredo sauce because that goes
Okay.
really well in this dish. So what I did was sweated everything off out of our chipotle. Now I put that in there. I'm going to add our noodles because what I'm going to be adding afterwards is our queso fresco, which is just a Mexican fresh cheese. So the thing is, I don't want to cook it too much. It will start to break down that cheese. It's very sensitive is a good word for it. So it's something that you could finish it on top a little bit. So just again, took some of our pre-cooked cavatappi noodles, and these are the best noodles for mac and cheese, Jay. This is like that cavatappi, or what do you call like a Scooby-Doo noodle? That the corkscrew style. Those are just like awesome. So just giving this a nice toss.
Scooby-Doo
Again,
noodle.
Scooby-Doo noodles. Again, you want it to be, nice and creamy, because you just need that in mac and cheese. I'm going to put a little bit of, I love cilantro. I know it's not everybody's thing, but for me, I love it. I'm one of those people that it doesn't taste like soap. I know everyone says, "Oh, it tastes like soap." It doesn't taste like soap. So here goes a little bit of our, actually a good amount.
Is that like feta then?
So queso fresco is not really like a feta.
Or like a goat cheese?
Sort of, right? It doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's definitely a very mild cheese. It's not a punchy in the face cheese. And there's different brands. This one was a little bit wetter actually than what I've normally have used before. Sometimes they're a little bit harder, almost like a pecorino, really. But this one was a little bit harder, or a little bit softer, I should say, sorry. So I just crumbled it up, basically, like you said, almost like a feta. What I got here is, there we are.
So you're not bringing that melted completely, or you bringing that down?
Not completely.
Okay.
Not completely, because I'll show you what I'm going to do to finish it. And again, like look at, we've taken something, and we're you've taken your, as you said, humble mac and cheese. Now all we've done is we've just done something completely creative with it, something unique, something that someone, I believe in a restaurant will say, what, yeah, I want to try that today, right? Just something a little bit different. Whoa, got my fingers dirty. I'm going to put a little bit more of that cheese on top. And then just to finish it off, to give it that, that Mexican theme, why not take a nice little dollop? There we are. Of some guacamole, a nice little bit of avocado. And so this is actually one of my favorite products. This guacamole is from a company called Holy Guacamole. See right there over my shoulder.
Yeah, is it?
Fantastic. That is another innovative product line.
Do restaurants still buy avocados whole though?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah?
I think there's still,
or probably for garnish.
Yeah, and there's still a mindset of whole avocado, bring a case in. It's to get, we need to get people out of the mindset of there's nothing wrong with like a frozen, product as an avocado or guacamole, something like that. I would say 20 years ago, when I was a chef at a private country club north of the city, we had such issues getting in good avocado for our Cobb salad, classic salad, that we turned to a frozen avocado half and never looked back. Never once heard complaints. And it saved us time. It saved us money. There's nothing worse than having your avocado shipment show up for your week and they're not ready to go. So, and those things, and it's cost effective. And, again, when you can, as a business owner, when you can price something out effectively and it's not, tied to a market where there's volatility, you can then, price accordingly to, make yourself a little bit of money. It's a struggle already. So like these types of innovative, dishes that, again, like are inflationary friendly, have, give you, the operator, an opportunity to, to do something for yourself. So yeah, that's what I think.
Cool. Awesome. So
And then,
you're going to do one more for us. Let's just break
one more.
We get set up for the next one.
Yeah,
We're going to come back and then rock it out, and then that'll be it. There we go. So we're going to go for a commercial, and we're going to be right back. There we go. There you go, folks. We're back. So, Chef Jason, let's go. Let's finish this. I know I was going up an elevator, but it's very elevator. It's all right. It's all good. Anyways, so what's this one you're working on now? What's this mac and cheese?
So the last one I'm going to do is inspired by my recent trip to Italy, is cacio e pepe, which is pecorino, cracked pepper, and that's it. Really. I actually took a cooking class when I was there, which was
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It was absolutely awesome. So met a chef in the morning, took us shopping to the market. We decided on a menu. So we did a cacio e pepe, we did veal saltimbocca, fava beans, braised with guanciale, which is the cheek of a pig, and vinegar peppers, and tiramisu. Yeah. Honestly, what an amazing event. It was just me, my wife, and this chef, and we just had the best day together. Nice. And so, making something like this is like, gives me a little flashback, even though the sun is shining here, because I have to say I was there for just over a week and did not have one single day of sunshine.
Seriously, it rained all the time?
Seriously, it rained every single day we were there.
So I always think like Italy being hot. Like being hot.
Yeah, it normally is. Yeah, normally. Yep. But not when Chef Jason travels.
Awesome.
So yeah,
So that's all that's in this dish. Is this a common dish then over there?
so cacio e pepe, yeah, is very common. So normally, traditionally, you wouldn't use like a sauce base for it. What he had taught us was basically for two people, if you can believe this, we took 350 grams of shaved pecorino cheese, mixed it with our pepper, and then water, and that created our sauce. But I don't think here you would want to be doing that. So we're taking a little bit of our osso mio Alfredo sauce with our noodles, and then building the flavors of cacio e pepe. So yeah, and it was just honestly, it was amazing, like life-changing pasta. So all I'm doing is just mixing it up. I've got a fair amount of sauce in here, and again, it's just a little bit of black pepper. So where's the cost in there? The true cost is only coming from your pecorino cheese, which we'll be adding. And speaking of cheese, you would actually like this, Jay. I tried while I was there. 80 months. So no, sorry, 84 months. 7-year-old Parmesan cheese.
Shut up.
And also tried 150-year-old balsamic vinegar, which absolutely blew my mind. I have never tried something like that before in my life. I don't think
Isn't balsamic? What's the average? How long does it take? I think it's like 11 years, isn't
it? Exactly. Actually, 12 years from. So what they were telling us was if I started my own balsamic factory today, I would have to wait till 2035 to get my first sellable, I guess that's a word, saleable, batch of balsamic vinegar.
No way.
Yeah, that was like I
yeah, that's a minimum 12 years.
Yeah,
up to 25 years minimum.
It was absolutely amazing. And when you think about it, and you think about what this industry is all about, like, and the commitment that a generation and then the next generation has to make to say, no, you know what? Yeah, we want to continue on with these traditions. We want to continue, this stuff on for our family was just absolutely amazing. So again, here's our mac and cheese. Put a little bit of extra pecorino on top. And that is our mac and cheese cacio e pepe, I should say. Sorry. Like, I forgive myself there. And then those are our 3 innovative mac and cheese ideas.
Very cool, Chef. Well, thank you again.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
For sharing those. No, this has really been great. I'm sorry that you went to Italy and it rained the whole time, but
that's okay. What are you going to do? You know what? Still had the opportunity to go, and it's okay. Bought myself some nice umbrellas.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thanks to everyone else that tuned in today on our podcast. Reminder: just enjoy food as it is. Right. I think the thing is, I think this from your chef. He doesn't have to be too crazy. He didn't use 1,000 ingredients in these dishes. He made it so simple, so it connects to the culture and stories of the people and the food that we all love. So thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, and we'll do this fancy outro for you. Here we go. Have a good one, Chef.
Excellent. Thank you, Jay. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.